In this video, we're going to look at how to create a blog using Squarespace. So we're going to go through how to get this set up, how to style the blog, how to add new posts, and we'll also give you some tips on how to get blogging right. Now, this is a video in our series on Squarespace. We did a full overview of the website builder, so be sure to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description to the playlist. And also, while you're in the description, check out our free no-code tool guide and a link to our premium courses. So let's jump straight into it. So here I am on Squarespace. I've just picked a theme. I don't even know which one I picked, but with any theme, you can add blogs because I'm going to show you how to do it. Firstly, we're in the Pages section. So this is a main menu. You click Pages, and then in the main navigation, we're going to click plus. And then here, we're going to use this, Collections. So this is a blog page that's going to help us get started with it all. So I'm going to click on this, and then we can decide what it's going to look like, and we can change this after, but what it's going to look like when we start designing the main blog page. So we can have images here like this, we can have it like this, or we can have a different grid here. So we're going to pick the grid, and then we're going to give it a name, say blog, click enter, and then here we are on our new blog page. Now, what it's done is it's given us 4 blog posts just to get us started with it. You're going to want to delete these and obviously add your own. But this is the page, because think of a blog as the blog page that holds the blog posts and then also the individual posts. And that's important as we go through this. So when we're on this, what we can do is simply click the edit button. And what we're doing is we're editing the main blog page. And there are a few things I want to show you here. Firstly, if we click on this area here, the section, this is where we can edit the section and also manage posts. So firstly, editing the section allows us to change the layout of the blog. So we can do a single column blog, for example, where we've got the blog at the top and then it goes down like that. But we're just going to go back to what we had, a basic grid blog, and then we can add columns in. So we can decide to have 3 columns, mess with the spacing, change the images if they're above or below, image spacing, and what kind of text to include. So we might not want to have the excerpt. I mean, we might want to take out the read more link. It's just up to you and how you want to do this. So that's the main idea here. Now we can also change the colors. Now, this is interesting because when we have our theme editor and the styling, when we change colors somewhere, it usually updates everywhere else. But we'll look at that in a second. So that's how we can edit this main section. If we click Manage Posts, I'm going to save it first. What it's going to do is take us back to this area here where we can add a new post. Okay? So just added a new post. We're going to put in a title here by saying 10 tools for Squarespace, for example. And then this is when we can write in our blog. Now, with this section here, it's important to know that when we start writing, it's going to start as a paragraph 1 or a paragraph 2, for example, and they're just different sizes. We can add in blocks above by saying, okay, we want to have an image at the start. We can add our image in here. Select from library. Let's just put this road in. This is from Unsplash. And then we might want to add a link to this, use captions, etc. But images obviously can help us with this. Just some of the other elements I want to share is that we can have different headings here in terms of, okay, we want to have a heading here to start off with. And then if we just click here for other elements, you can see all the different things we can put in. So blog post might be more dynamic, where we have a button involved, videos involved, quotes, etc., social links. Most people will have images, videos, and text as a blog. But we can also add in the newsletter link here, where people can subscribe to the newsletter. And if you have a Squarespace account, you can send it to your Squarespace, okay? So we have email services inside Squarespace. But this is just something to play around with, to think about what you want to include in your individual blog posts. And then at any time, we can click this button over here to see the styles. Now, this is interesting. It says manage the style settings that appear across your entire site. So when we change it here, it's going to change elsewhere too. So if we look at the fonts, we've chosen Oswald for the title. We have chosen Open Sans for the paragraph and Oswald for headings as well. And then with colors, you can change your palettes, okay? So you can have a specific palette for how it's going to look like. But then you can customize this by saying, no, I want a white background with black text, and making sure that that kind of shows up in all of this space. Now, anytime we can just press the command on a Mac. It might be different with Windows, but we can just press Command S and it's going to save it for us. And then we can exit out of this to go back to this page here. Now, again, we're inside of the 10 tools for Squarespace blog post, but if we click the blog here, it's going to take us to this page again. And that's just a simple way to set up the blog using Squarespace. And like I say, on any theme, you can just add this blog collection and then it's going to set it up for you. And when you go into the blog, you're going to have your posts here, and then you can add new posts by clicking the button up here. Now, just a few tips when it comes to creating a blog on any type of website. So first one is we need to strike that balance between people searching for our website and it being a good read. Now, in the past, people just used to stuff keywords into their posts and put it in heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, etc. Put it in all the paragraphs. Now, Google is smarter with this, where they want you to be able to write a post that is readable for people, but also do include the main keywords that you want to have people search for to find your post. Include them in the title and the text and images, etc. Another tip to help your blog get found by search is to link to other posts within your website. So if you have an article on 10 tools for Squarespace, and then you mention another tool in that, and you have a blog post on that tool, then link to that tool through that blog post. And if you're really stuck about what to write, then use their new AI feature, where what you can do is say, write an intro about 10 tools for Squarespace and why these are important. Okay, let's spell that correctly. And then what we do is click this button and then generate. So it's going to do this for us in AI. And I'll pause the video here and show you when it's done. Oh, it's done. So basically, it says, the future technology is poised to be revolutionary, advancements in artificial. It's basically writing this paragraph for us. So what we can do is really write our articles, and if we're stuck or if we want to just rely on AI, that can help us too. And the last thing I want to mention in this video is that there are other websites that you can use to create blog posts. For example, you can use one using Webflow. And Webflow is a no-code tool that is highly customizable. And if you want to learn more about Webflow, know that we have a 7-hour course that goes through how to create blog posts and how to create different types of websites and style these sites using Webflow. So be sure to check that out. And if you're staying on YouTube, then watch another video either on Squarespace or on anything else that we have produced. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye for now.